Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Coffee with Craig. This is where we talk about all things Second Amendment related, firearms related, whether it be pop culture, news, movies, music, your backyard barbecue, you name it, we're talking about it if it's relating to guns. So please make it a point to like and share this video feed so that your friends can join into the conversation right now. Also, please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our Facebook page so that you guys can know whenever we're live. All right, so before we get into today's topic, I wanted to remind you guys, FPC gear is back up and running. As you know, young man decided he was going to wear his FPC, Don't Tread on Me t-shirt to school. Teacher told him, you can't wear that. You're going to get punished. He said, I'm going to sue you. So guess what? We are suing him. So we need your help. How can you help us? By buying these cool t-shirts. It's real simple. You just go to fpcgear.com. You won't just find this cool Don't Tread on Me t-shirt, but you'll find a couple of other t-shirts that are now available for you. You've got your Right to Bear Arms t-shirt. Once again, fantastic. We have a Don't Tread on Me t-shirt available for the ladies. So please, ladies, if you're looking for one, that's the shirt to get. And then we have my favorite, gun rights, because I can't carry a cop in my pocket. Folks, these are fantastic t-shirts. All of them are well designed, great material, and it goes to a good cause. All you have to do, go to fpcgear.com. That's fpcgear.com. Support the Second Amendment, support FPC by buying yourself a cool shirt. It's that simple. So let's get into today's topic, shall we? Now, many of you guys have seen this commercial that's been out there. It's put out there by a group of veterans who are basically promoting gun control. It is not just a commercial that promotes gun control, but in fact, the commercial includes in it some real fallacies. And so what I wanted to do was, I always try to be deferential to those who have served our country. I really am not one who wants to go out and, normally if someone comes out and they say something that's false, I am going to challenge them and I'm just going to call them out and call them wrong or yada, yada, yada. But I don't want to do that because these are folks who have they have volunteered to put their lives on the line for us, for me, for my rights. So I figured the best way to answer these folks would be to bring someone out who has served in the military, but not only has served in the military, but actually works in the firearms industry, understands firearms, and understands some of the falsehoods that are being put out by this commercial. So I invited some good friends of mine from Arms Room Radio. On the other screen, as you will see right there. Oh, no, right there. They're over there. I have Mike and Earl from Arms Room Radio. Gentlemen, how are you doing today?
Doing well, Craig. Thanks for having us on.
Fantastic. Now, I see you guys are I understand you guys are coming at us live from NRA.
Yes, we are.
We're at the NRA annual meetings here in Dallas, Texas, set up on Radio Row and getting things tweaked for the weekend and joining you.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate you guys taking some time out of your very, very fun time to join me here. So let's talk a little bit about this commercial. Have you guys had a chance to see this commercial?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have seen it.
Okay. So what I want to do is I want to show the commercial. And then when we come back, we're going to have a little bit of a conversation about this commercial. So everybody, check it out. Just in case you haven't seen it, be patient. If you have seen it, be patient with us. And if you haven't seen it, well, then you're about to have issues like I do. Here we go.
I served in the U.S. Army.
I served in the Navy.
Air Force.
Marine Corps. Hoorah.
I was a 31 Bravo military police officer.
Security Forces.
82nd Airborne.
Radio operator.
SEAL Team 1.
I was stationed at Camp Anaconda in Iraq.
In Afghanistan.
Vietnam.
My service weapon was an M4 assault rifle.
My service weapon was an M16.
It's basically the same. You know what? It is the same.
As the AR-15.
Same weapon that's killed hundreds of people in the deadliest mass shootings in America.
I know the power of this weapon firsthand.
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 And there is no reason.
No reason
no reason
why anyone other than military and law enforcement should have an assault weapon like this.
I fought for this country.
I believe in the Second Amendment and the right to bear arms.
But that was created 200 years ago.
Guns have changed a lot since then.
High-powered, rapid-fire assault rifles like the AR-15 are meant for one thing.
One thing.
One thing.
That's not something I want in my country.
My name is Corporal Aiken.
My name is Specialist LaHaye.
Petty Officer, Second Class Day.
Corporal Williams.
Sergeant Yen.
Airman Batesel.
Staff Sergeant Houseman.
Corporal Henderson.
Staff Sergeant Stason.
Corporal De Jesus.
Specialist Stealth.
Captain Vernier.
Senior Airman Rice.
Specialist Parker.
Petty Officer Williams.
My name is Sergeant Bell, and I support the ban on military-style assault rifles and safer gun laws in this country.
All right, so there it is. You know, first off, I just want to address just kind of the whole idea that, you know, they talk about the Second Amendment being written over 200 years ago, as if for some reason now it shouldn't apply. What do you guys think of that?
You know, Greg, this is every bad excuse we've heard about the Second Amendment. You know, coming from these veterans. And let me start off by telling you, I mean, you know, and let me tell all the other people watching us. I'm 25 years military between active duty and reserve components. All 25 years of that has been the guy with the rifle, the shoot, move, communicate guy. Looking for the bad guy with deployments on my service jacket. So this is coming from me with my military background. I started as a private. Now I'm a commander again in my waning years. None of that makes me any better than anybody else, but I think it just gives me the creds to talk about it. Wow, these are every bad excuse we've ever heard. You know, these weapons was written 200 years ago, and it's talking about muskets. Okay, fine. Then the First Amendment only applies to a printing press and a quill. You know, do we have to continue to go through the same things over and over with you? The things that we saw overseas, Afghanistan, Iraq. You know what we used to do, Greg? We used to when we'd go house to house and we'd go vehicle to vehicle at checkpoints, stopping families. You are allowed to leave that, or that the families there were allowed to have one assault weapon, not a military style assault weapon, not a one that's what's the newest term? You got assault weapons and military style assault weapons. These were actual fully automatic weapons, AK-47s, full auto weapons that they were allowed to have, one per family. Do you know why they had one per family? You know why they're allowed to have these assault weapons per family? To prevent their government from being tyrannical over them.
Wow.
We gave them the same opportunities when we were there over the past 10 or 15 years that we got starting in 1775. Here's your weapon to defend yourself against your rogue government if it happens to come after you.
Yeah, now imagine if they were required, they said, okay, no, you can have a firearm. It's going to be a single-shot musket.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that would have been perfect. That would have been perfect.
So,
yeah, but saying this video is just, it drives me nuts. I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm going to let you go through it. Earl wants to jump in here as well.
Oh, go ahead, Earl. Go ahead, Earl. I want to know what you have to think.
I can cut all that down to technology may change, but our rights don't. If what they're saying that it only applies to muskets, then let's log off our computers right now, get off the internet, and like Mike said, break out a feather pen, dip it in an inkwell, write it up on some paper, throw it in the mail, and come back to me in a month when it finally gets there.
Preach it, Earl. Preach it. Now, okay, so now, but the other reason I wanted to bring you guys on was to address this issue of that the AR-15 and the M4 and the M16, the firearms that are given to our military to use, are in fact the same exact firearms. Now, I am not a firearms expert. You are. Please, do me a favor. Please share with the audience your opinion on their opinion relating to the similarities.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you the weapons that we used in war. When we're doing our shoot, move, communicate, our movement to contacts with the enemy. It was an M4 with a 14.5-inch barrel. It's air-cooled, gas-operated. select fire weapon, which means depending on which version you had, I could shoot semi-automatic. I could shoot in burst mode, which was 3 rounds at a time. Or if I had the right model, I could switch it all the way over to full auto fire and just mag dump my way until the enemy went down. That's what we had. That's what we had to defend ourselves. Well, I'm sorry, I wasn't in the Department of the Army that defended ourselves carrying weapons. I was in the Department of Army that we went out to find and kill the enemy, close with and destroy the enemy by fire and maneuver. That's what we did. That's the kind of weapons we used there. Now, the civilian models used here,
16-inch barrel overall and semi-automatic only. There is no burst or full auto option. Semi-automatic only.
Right, but aren't these like, high-powered weapons that weapons of war that can, blow a person into bits? I mean, that's what they would have us believe.
In most states, the caliber these rifles use is not big enough to go hunting for deer.
But the veterans, the combat veterans who know these firearms told us that these are weapons of war. What are we supposed to make of that?
I saw the veterans, and I'm not going to, talk down about anybody's service. Don't know what they did. Don't know if they were, frontline people or in the back, cleaning mess kits. Either way, it's, service is honorable, and, no matter what you did, my hat's off to you, especially indoors because we don't wear our hats indoors. But they, I don't know where they get their points of view from. They say things in there like, nobody needs this assault weapon. And they forget, well, first off, there's no such thing as assault weapon. We talked about that. Weapons don't assault people. People assault people, and they use tools to do it. But 200 years ago, 220 years ago, this is how we got our country. We got our country because we had like-minded weapons. We don't have like-minded weapons in our government anymore. We are leaps and bounds behind where our government is. This semi-automatic rifle that they have, that we civilians have, is maybe just enough to keep them at bay. To keep the government from saying, this looks like a good thing. Let me go in here and take these people down. But we're not even close to being similar to what we had in 1775 when this great place started.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys coming on and helping to dispel some of this myth. I think it's important that we do the best that we can to try and connect everybody out there, in particular voters out there, with the information and the understanding. Because, to be honest, firearms and firearms policy is highly technical. And oftentimes policymakers, even people who agree with us, they don't know, they really don't have a lot of that technical knowledge. And so I think it's incumbent upon us, people who work in the policy area and who work in the industry, to be able to kind of communicate this information in a way in which the average voter and the average policymaker can understand it so that when they hear some of this nonsense, they recognize it for what it is, which is nonsense.
And just to kind of add to that, Craig, everyone that saw Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Facebook, kind of explaining to our lawmakers how the internet works, and it made your brain hurt. You just got a glimpse of the life of a gun owner. Oh yeah. Because there's criminal penalties relating to if there's something you don't understand or don't know, you could wind up in jail. At the very least, you could wind up having your very expensive property confiscated. Yes.
Wow. Well, gentlemen, I hope you guys have a lot of fun at NRA. I once again have to admit I am jealous, as it is the home of my Dallas Cowboys. But I will. I live. But you guys have fun during Cinco de Mayo. Once again, I already have the link down there. Where can people listen to you guys? What area are stations for Arms Room Radio on throughout these United States?
It's 25, 30 around the country right now. It's you go to armsroomradio.com, armsroomradio.com. You can check out all the stations all the times. 3 to 5 live on Saturdays. We'll be here this Saturday. We're here this weekend broadcasting. live as well. Hey, Craig, before we go, I get a question about FPC gear. Do you have any more of the 1 ounce liquid distribution containers that we got from you?
Shot glass.
At the SHOT Show?
You know what? I will talk to Sabrina in our other office and see if we can get some for you.
That was my favorite part of FPC gear. I've got all the shirts, I've got my bags, I've got my patches, but I think that that one is the one I use the most.
I do not find that hard to believe. Gentlemen, once again, thank you so much. Thank you for what you guys do. You guys do a lot to bring, once again, break not just firearms, help people understand firearms down, but also to bring people who are talking about firearms advocacy and firearms policy throughout the country. You guys are helping us get a lot of connections in the Pacific Northwest. And once again, we appreciate you guys, and I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend.
Thanks, Greg.
Happy Cinco de Mayo, sir.
Thank you. I will most definitely have a happy Cinco de Mayo. Okay, everybody, that's going to be it for today's Coffee with Craig. Thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, please remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow our Facebook page, tell everybody about the Firearms Policy Coalition. We are the home in the fight for civil rights. You got to use them, or you're going to lose them. You guys take care.
If you like our videos, follow, subscribe, like, and share.